Hello and welcome to CEO Chats. I'm your host Amanda, and today we have a special guest, Mr. Yusno from Evanesys. Before we start, let's check out this video.
Hi, my name is Yusno Yunos. I'm the CEO and founder of Evanesys, YS Sendirian Berhad. So in Evanesys, we build great software for events. So we help event organizers, event planners to manage their entire event processes, whether it is pre, on the day, and post events. We are the first in this region to provide database management, invitation, ticketing, and on-site registration solutions to the event companies in this part of the world.
And here we have right now is Mr. Yusno from Evanesys. Welcome to the show. Thank you for being here with us.
You're welcome.
So to begin, let's start with a quick introduction about you. Maybe you can tell us a little bit more about yourself, your background, in fact your career thus far.
All right, I'm Yusno. Basically, I'm the eldest of 3 siblings. I'm a Capricorn.
Okay.
So my passion has always been about doing cool things.
Cool.
So ever since I was a child, I love building things that excite other people. So I've never dreamed to be an entrepreneur. I started working like others, like my friends, in a corporation, working up the ladder. But then somehow along the way, I decided to try something on my own. So this is where I started Evanesys, YS Sendirian Berhad, which is about 6 years ago, and here I am today.
Okay, so Evanesys is a company that you founded and currently
Yes.
the CEO. But I also did a little bit of background check on you
Okay, all right.
and found that you studied in the States for a while. In fact,
Yes.
you spent quite a number of years working there, if I'm not mistaken, in
Okay.
Carnegie Mellon University. So what made you decide to come back?
Good one. So yeah, I furthered my study, I think about 4 years in the States, and then courtesy of a scholarship from Tenaga Nasional Berhad. So while I was completing my master's, I was working with the university as a web developer. So I enjoyed my time over there, definitely, in terms of working with people from different countries, different culture. But then again, I realized that I have a duty. I have a duty to contribute, to give back to those who have given me the opportunity to study overseas.
Wow.
And that's where, after discussions with friends, families, decided to come back and basically work with Tenaga Nasional Berhad.
Wow, so I think that's speaks about your volumes about your values as a leader, is to give back to those who have invested in you. And that's fantastic, despite the opportunities that came your way in when you were in the States as well. So I hear that you are big on collaboration, right? In fact, you coined the term "grow-laboration." Could you share with me a little bit more about that?
It is interesting because that term, I don't know whether someone else have coined it, but it actually came when I was preparing for this talk. I think it was like 2 years or a year ago, when I was asked to share about the journey that we had from day one on how we get to where we are right now. So while I was building that presentation decks, I was looking at all the partners that we have collaborated with since day one. And it seems like you can only grow by collaborating.
Right.
Okay,
right.
that's where grow-laboration comes from. So we know that we are here because of the people that we work with, people who are bigger than us. Because as a startup, as a SMEs, you need to tie yourself up with companies like, in the beginning we did some collaboration with Microsoft, with IBM, with Telecom Malaysia. So these guys actually bring us to a different market.
Yeah.
Because if you go to a client with these guys backing you up,
Right.
it gives you a different sort of like ball game.
So could you tell me a little bit more about your company and share with us about that?
Event basically has changed the way people run events. I still remember like 6 years ago when we were talking about the need of a system or a solution, technology in events, and people were like, why do you need technologies? Because we are so used to doing big events. I mean, you've seen expos, right? People, like thousands of people coming to PWTC, KLCC, and most of them, I mean, like in those years, they're not using any kind of web solution, mobile solution. So we saw that opportunity, right? And like you said, it is a disruptor, it's a game changer, where now you can actually reduce their work so that these guys who are actually doing or running events, they can focus on what they are good at, which is delivering the best event experience to the attendees.
Right.
And leaving all the nitty-gritty stuff, just like what I mentioned earlier, the invitation, the database management, sorting out the plans, finding venues, thinking about the budgets, getting the badges to be printed on time, reducing the queues.
Right.
Have you ever seen when you're going to an event and then you have to queue and then you have to wait like 10 minutes just to get a badge? Doesn't make sense, especially in this part of the world, in this day and age. You need to be doing things more efficiently.
Right.
So this is where what we are good at. This is how we are changing the industry.
Yeah, I think what's excellent about this is that you saw the opportunity, and instead of like, if you're in event management, you don't want to spend so much time on administration, on the nitty-gritty. If there's any opportunity for optimization, any opportunity for you to be more efficient or make things a little bit more effective and really focus where the work needs to be. And what is great about you use technology as a tool as opposed as a hindrance, right? And if you can automate certain processes, if you can make things a little bit more easier for everyone to collaborate and work with one another.
Totally.
Going back to what you talk about collaboration.
Exactly.
I think it's essentially an integrated platform, right?
It is.
Yeah?
It is an integrated platform because the dream, the vision that we had on day one is to actually have a single platform for all the stakeholders. When I say stakeholders, I'm talking about the organizer, the attendees, and also the other stakeholders. These are basically the suppliers, the event FMBs, the venues. So having all of them integrated in a single platform, and you can create amazing event.
Because it cuts down all the communication barriers and all the potential, mishaps that might happen. Because if everyone's talking in a different language or a different platform, that's the struggle as well. Yeah. So this really excites me because I did a little bit of event management or wedding planning before, and I know how it can be a nightmare. In fact, I hear that this whole company was partly inspired by you having an experience organizing your own wedding. That's quite brave of you. Looks like we can't, and instead of you, because it was part of the stress and frustration organizing your own wedding, but you didn't see that as a hindrance, right? In fact, your frustration was one of your driving force.
Yeah, that is actually an inspiration.
Right.
So when I say it's an inspiration, it means that the problem was there when we were trying to plan our wedding. We didn't get to solve it at that point in time, but after our wedding, we put a lot of thoughts into it. So the main driving force at that point in time was to help other wedding organizers or people who are getting married to not have these problems of arranging their RSVPs, seating arrangements, because we're doing it in a hotel, in a ballroom, right? So you need to know where to sit the groom side, the bride side, your friends from high school, your friends from office, etc. Right?
Too many coordination
exactly.
work.
And then if you don't have a good planner, you have to do it by yourself.
Yeah, that's right.
So that software initially was meant for these guys, and then later on we expanded our horizon to target other type of events.
So I'm sure it's not easy to build a company from scratch to bring it to where it is today. So tell us about your challenges. In fact, if you have any particular failures that you can share with us, is there any instance where it has left a deep impact in your life?
I wouldn't say deep impact, but problems, challenges definitely, especially in raising funds. Yes, I agree that you need the right team, you need the right skills, but you definitely need money. So the first 6 months after we actually completed our product, we did not have the right sales guy. We do not know how to market our product. I'm a technical guy. Okay, I'm not like this before.
Yeah.
I used to be very technical, sit in front of a machine, just do coding, those kind of things. But you know, you have to do things differently if you want to be different, right? So I had to find the right person to actually take over the sales and marketing to a different level. So we were stuck for about 6 months. Couldn't find money, we couldn't find the right person. And luckily enough, we managed to convince Cradle. So it's worth to mention Cradle here because they were the one who actually injected some money to help us commercialize the product. So that was the defining time where we have some cash, where we can get to build a property.
Right.
So I managed to convince my good friend while we were still studying at that point in time in the States to actually join me and lead that section.
Right.
So that's when we started to build Evanesys as a brand. Because most of these SMEs, they don't like thinking about product as a brand. So we realized the importance of brands.
Right.
So I would say challenges of building the right team and raising funds as the key issues that we face at the early stage of the company.
Yeah. So what was the key takeaway or what let you push through those challenges?
Well, it's just about the willpower in a sense that you know the problem is there to be solved.
Right.
One way or another, you have to survive. You know the idea is good, you know people are excited about it, and there must be something that you can do about it, right?
Yeah.
So you just have to, if I have to pitch to 100 investors, I would just go out and pitch.
Right, right.
So we were talking to a lot of people, a lot of angels, and goodly enough, Cradle was there.
Yeah, thank God for that. So it's really how much you want it.
Yes, exactly.
And it comes with the determination and the perseverance in spite of the challenges and the tribulations that you have to go through to get what you want.
Correct.
So that's fantastic. Thanks for sharing that. So with your challenges as the founder and CEO of Evanesys, what keeps you going or who inspires you?
What keeps me going? I wouldn't have a specific person that inspires me. I take inspirations from experience, events, people that I read about.
Right.
For example, when I first started the company, it's all about reading books, attending seminars, especially those things related to financials, Robert Kiyosaki, those kind of guys. So those people inspired me at that point in time. At later stage of the company, it's about finding the right team members. So then you look at coaches. You have few coaches that actually help you, guide you, inspire you to do things that you don't think it is possible before. And if you ask me about the day-to-day thing that keeps me going, it's still about the desire, the passion to build more exciting things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because until today, this industry that we are in is not fully disrupted. When I say not fully disrupted, we are not at the level of the disruption that you are seeing in transportation, like Grab, Uber, those kind of things. Those are basically being highly disrupted. So when an industry is not fully disrupted, the potential is huge. The worth of our industry is easily about 8 billion. That's the worth. If I can capture just at least 1%, a portion of that, it could be the next unicorn in Southeast Asia.
So is that your goal? That's what you're working towards?
Oh yeah.
Yeah?
Definitely.
Yeah, so you'll be the disruptor, the game changer,
Yes.
reinventing the whole entire industry.
Exactly.
So how about you as a leader? What kind of leader are you?
Interesting. I mean, after the program that we went through for the past 5 months, I got to know myself more. I think I'm more of a democratic kind of leader, where I like to take people's opinion in. I like to decide after I hear the pros and cons, rather than being authoritative, like, hey, you have to do this, you have to do that. I'm the kind of guy that would love to inspire my team. I'm the kind of guy that would not give you solutions. I like them to take challenges and come up with solutions of their own. Because that's the only way you can innovate.
Sure.
Because my definition of innovation is simple. If I throw you, if you see a problem, right, you have to solve it.
Right.
And if you can solve it, you're very innovative. Doesn't matter what kind of solution you have.
Right.
So that's the kind of leader that I think I am. And I think that's how I would like the team that I would love to build around.
So it sounds like innovation is a core value for
Yes,
you
you
as
got
well.
it.
And I think that's
Yeah.
important to be an entrepreneur and to be in this space. So thank you so much, Yusno. It's been a pleasure getting to
You're
know
welcome.
you, and as you share your journey and your experience with us, we'll
Thank
learn
you
a
for
lot
having
from
me
you.
as well.
Yeah. So that's all we have time for today. See you in the next episode of CEO Chat.